coming there.
We're from Ypsilanti. Yeah,
We're
we'll be
coming
in
out
Louisville this weekend.
Oh, where are you guys going to be at in Louisville?
The tape.
Planet of the
Planet of
Tapes.
the Tapes.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
You
we're
got,
playing Columbus Friday night and then Louisville Saturday.
oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
come on out. We'll get you in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Planet of the
yeah,
Tapes, cool
absolutely.
little fucking venue. And you guys are from Ipsy?
Yeah. Well, Detroit area. He
Detroit,
lives in
yeah.
Redford. I live in Ipsy. Pat lives in Ann Arbor. Cliff lives in Plymouth. So yeah, the surrounding suburbs.
Right on. So I'm I'm from Michigan also. I grew up in like Wayne, Westland, Canton, Garden City.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Wayne
Yeah, yeah.
Westland.
I actually grew up in Canton as well, so
Oh,
Right.
right on. Yeah, I
went to
went to
Plymouth Bay
Well, you
to
lived in
Wayne
Westland for
Denison.
one of our rehearsals.
Yeah, I lived in Westland for a
Right
while
off of
too.
Ford
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what was it? Ford and
yeah. Ford and Wayne Road.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
By
Yeah,
the old
so
like
every
down.
time
What was that?
go ahead. I
Oh,
was going
by
to say
you remember the old Quavadas
yeah.
Theater? Warren and like in that area.
Yeah, so we did one of my earlier memories. I've got a really good friend with. Anytime we come up, we stay with them. We used to hop the bus and run to Quo Vadis and fucking sneak in there and watch movies.
Oh yeah, yeah. You could drink in that place
Yeah, that was
if
a
you were
long
21.
fucking time ago. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't, but
yeah.
we would drink in there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I'm
Hell
actually from
yeah.
Kalamazoo, so I moved here in like what early '90s, like mid '90s, something like that.
yeah. Ipsy. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hell
that's where the
yeah.
Bullies were from, is Kalamazoo. And David moved here, I
Kalamazoo.
moved here.
So how long has the band been together?
As far as like playing together,
Yeah.
this band is we've been playing together. Scott and I have been together about 35 years.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been like we were in Thrall together, put out 3 albums with Thrall, and then we did the Brain Saw and did put out a record with the Brain Saw.
Backing up, Hand Over Head was the first band.
Yeah, oh yeah, Hand Over Head was the first band. So this is like our fourth band together.
Oh
The Hand
shit.
Over Head was
Yeah.
1992, 93, right after Bullies, kind of
Broke up.
broke
Yeah.
up the first time.
Broke up the first time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Shit. Well, here we are
And
again.
then and then Cliff was in our drummer Cliff. He was in Thrall for the second and third album, and then Pat was in the Mike Hard Show, and we were pretty much just a live band. We played the Theater Bazaar and Halloween and Christmas and just like special shows like that.
The
Yeah.
four of us in this band, we've known each other, all of us, for at
Over
least
20 years, yeah.
30, I'd say
Yeah,
30
yeah, it
years,
was
yeah,
Pat.
pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's fucking cool. So it's
right.
like you guys are like married, which is super nice.
It's weird.
But yeah,
It's
we've been divorced a few times.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
it's like any marriage. It's
Keep
up and
coming
down.
back,
But
yeah.
true love lasts forever.
That's it, man. Whether you get divorced or not, shit keeps coming back together, and you're like, hey, let me just tickle that a little bit. Let's
Yeah, because
go.
we're all the same. You know what I mean? It's just we're human fucking beings, and my problems are your problems, his problems, and it's just working through our problems together and seeing a big
Yeah.
picture and having a goal. So
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, really miss that or don't understand that aspect with being in a band, right? Like there's highs and lows, and
Oh yeah.
sometimes you need to take that fucking break and be like, hold on,
You're,
like,
you're married to 4 people or 5 people or however many people.
like we just all caught COVID together in Chicago. All four of us. Pat got it first. I was driving. Pat was up front, and I got it, and then we all four of us got it. It was
all within the same day.
Yeah,
pretty
it was.
much.
It was.
Oh.
We were out.
knocked
for about
out
2 weeks.
shows. We had to reschedule shows, and
It was about 2 weeks ago.
yeah, that was
fuck.
fun.
Oh, it sucked. It was like I could hardly breathe. It was the first time I really got it, so it
Yeah.
it hit me pretty hard.
Hit
We
Detroit
actually-
and Chicago, and then COVID.
Dude, I'm telling you, we went up to Boston for the Shadows Fall reunion, me and a couple of buddies, and everything was great until our trip home, and literally all of us got COVID. And it was just like, you motherfucker. Like,
All in the car together.
yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
were flying, so it was like
Oh,
we blamed Ja Rule because we ran into Ja Rule in LaGuardia Airport. It was like it was him. He fucking gave us COVID.
yeah. I met a couple of people. I was in Chicago last 2 days ago and talked to a couple of people that went to the show, and they caught COVID at the show as well. So
Yeah.
someone in there had it, was getting around pretty good.
Yeah,
Well,
fucking,
and then our Detroit show, we had people from Kentucky, the bands members in the other bands were from Kentucky, LA, Madison, all over the place. Who knows? You know what I mean? Nobody else
Yeah.
got it, so it must have been Chicago. I don't know. Maybe he's right. We love
Yeah.
Chicago, though. No offense to Chicago.
Yeah,
I,
just a bad
I
night.
try to, I'm like, stay away from Chicago.
Oh,
I
man.
actually, but it's only like I had one bad experience flying in. I was connecting from Vegas and I got hosed real fucking bad that night. And ever since I'm like, fuck Chicago, but
Well, you're out
you
in
know,
O'Hare, though. I mean, you get into Chicago, it's a different story. Chicago's a
yeah,
pretty cool place.
yeah, I got to
Yeah.
live there for like 2 years. I love the place.
right
So
on.
It's
So
very Midwestern. It's very
where was the,
Midwestern. And people
oh
are all
yeah,
really nice and they smile. Yeah, I mean, it's like a whole different vibe than like New York City.
yeah.
People actually will look at you, meet your eyes, and give you a smile. How you doing today? It's a pretty cool city. I actually like it a lot.
tightly
There's
knit.
there's a
Everybody's
lot
in
of really
bands.
cool. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I think most major cities are like that, like
Yeah, yeah.
everyone from the sticks congregates to the, the metropolis of the state and like you
Yeah,
fucking throw a stick and like, oh, I'm in 7 bands and
well,
you
yeah. I
know,
mean, that's what Seattle had going because it's the middle of nowhere, and everyone like the story of Nirvana, where they came from a really small, from the banks of the Mishawaka or whatever, up
yeah,
in there, and then same with Minneapolis with all the bands that came up into Minneapolis. I mean, it's Minneapolis is the middle of nowhere, so all
yeah.
those kids came in there and started tons of bands out of that area. And Detroit's just has a really it's kind of different because it's kind of urban and has a sprawl going to it, but it's not like a mecca where kids would go to like growing up, maybe to get a job or something, but
I
not
don't,
like yeah.
so I think they do now. Like I've seen a lot of people really congregate, back into Detroit, like actually into Detroit, and play from that, which is, I mean, you guys fucking remember back in the 80s and 90s, everyone was like, get me the fuck away from here.
Oh yeah, Devil's Night, burning down houses.
we've always been a like touring band, like never really played a lot. We do like one or two shows in Detroit. Detroit's a great place, but you know what I mean? Like you play, there's only so many places you can play in Detroit. You play all the time. I feel like it gets stagnant, you
Yeah,
know?
and there's a lot of
Yeah.
like you just step up one block over in Detroit and you got pure nightmare. I mean, Chicago's kind of pretty well laid out, and it's amazing how much money they put into real estate. Detroit is just after the riots in what 68, it really did get. I mean, people just moved off to the suburbs and kind of just it's starting to slowly come back. But there's some areas in Detroit that are just beautiful, beautiful homes, all brick,
Yeah.
built during the big auto days, and they're all dilapidated, run down, and yeah, hopefully people move in and build them up. But you don't see that in Chicago. Everything's pretty much the real estate's pretty well all developed.
Yeah. It's,
No.
and the prices are so they vary so much. Like those Chicago prices are super high, and there's spots of Detroit where prices are pretty high, but you can still find a pretty decent house for a
Oh
for an
yeah.
affordable price.
Right.
Yeah, Detroit's changed a lot. It's weird over the past 10 years. I mean,
My son lives in New York City or in like Williamsburg. He used to live in Brooklyn, and the real estate there is like double what it is in Chicago.
Oh yeah,
I mean, just it's double. That's it. It's like what he pays $3,000 a month for rent for like a really small 1 bedroom apartment. That's about 1,400 in Chicago for about the same thing. So,
yeah, it's
yeah,
weird. Like, I mean, when I lived there in Chicago, I lived in Wicker Park in the 90s, and back then Wicker Park was like the artist community, and you could get a full house for like 400 to 600 bucks a month, and then all the artists kind of made it cool, and then next thing you know, like everybody from like the Lincoln Park side moved over to Wicker Park. Now it's like 5 grand for a studio. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's really
But
like, the real estate has really exploded, and I wish like uh pay wages would have exploded with it so it was be a lot more affordable for people. But if they did, I don't feel there would be as many artistic people, right? Because everyone's like, I gotta go
right.
make a fucking dollar.
yeah,
Uh
that's the key. I mean, that's the story of our lives with our music. We keep. I mean, no one's paying us to make the music, so we're doing it ourselves. We all have jobs. We all have to work hard, but we still have time to do this, which is I just gives me such a purpose for living, you know.
Yeah.
You know, to keep writing and reflecting on what we're going through as a tribe, you know.
Yeah. I think a lot of people miss that part too, right? Like being part of a tribe, having those like-minded individuals. Like,
It's all about that. Yeah, that
yeah,
positive energy and trying to keep that negative world from collapsing in on you. And you need support for that.
we've got to stick fucking together. It like my
I agree.
biggest
Divide and conquer, man. It's a
That's it.
Machiavellian.
That
That's what they're doing right now. You know, divide us
100
all, man,
that
woman, black, white, everything. Just keep us all fighting for the limited resources. It's an old trick. It's been going on for centuries, if not thousands of years. I just can't believe that the intelligence of the average Joe hasn't figured it out yet. That's just what's so crazy to
it's
me. It
because
just seems no
they're
natural.
I know, but they're not using intelligence, they're using emotion, right? And when people get emotional, like
It
it doesn't
blocks.
matter how much shit your
Right,
emotions take over, and that's where they're getting us. They use race, or religion
right.
or what fucking ever to keep us so divided. And it's like
It's the kitchen sink, man. They throw anything at us and see if it
they
will
do,
stick. Yeah.
and none of them motherfuckers care anything about us. So like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
That's been our statement for years.
Yeah, mine too. And people are like, no, you got to be like, no, fuck all of those people. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I mean, I don't know. I think we're the product.
Mhm.
You know, we're the product. We are who's being what and who is being bought, sold, and everything else. They make money off us because we're the product. So, I mean, I think it's pretty simple.
We absolutely are the product. And here
Yep.
we are creating more content to sell more product.
Well,
So
hopefully we wake people
let's,
up.
well, that's the hope. That is always
Yes.
the hope, because they fucking fuck all those people. We just need to stick together.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
so let's get on the music. So you guys just had As Above, So Below come out just under a month ago.
Right.
How has the reception been for you
I think
guys?
really good. I haven't heard anything really bad about it from. I mean, the press seems to like it a lot. I like the record as far as lyrically. I think you can see where I've grown more as a songwriter and as my a lyricist, and so I'm really happy with it. I think it's the next step. You know.
We haven't seen one bad review yet. I mean, we it's been doing really good, you know. The fans like, I mean, I kind of hope for that, but like, I was actually, I'm super happy the way it's been going. You know, it's not even been a month, and hopefully it gets out there a little bit more. But I think it's been doing great.
Yeah, you know, it's on
We love it.
Reptilian. There's only 1,000 press. It's it's vinyl. So I mean,
Yeah.
people are every downloads and all that stuff. I don't think he put out any CDs of it, which he thought was a waste of time, and it probably is. But it's a different marketplace. I love vinyl. So I'm kind of glad that Chris is doing stuff in vinyl. So
Yeah.
that's cool. But it's just more like our existence, reflecting on the times we're living in. And I love having musicians like Scott that want to work with me so I can put my words down to what he's doing with his music. And I try to fit the music that Scott's pretty much in charge of getting everything going. And we record at his house rehearsals, and then I put my words over the top, and I try to fit that with the music that they give me. And I
Hell
really
yeah.
like the music I got on this record. Have you listened to it?
I have. I actually listened to it again today. Like
Right on.
when the press first came out, I listened to it and I was like, oh, I fucking dig that. Like, I won't interview someone that I don't like their music.
Excellent. Yeah, I love the
Like,
record. Some people say it's a little heavy for the Bully stuff, but it's just a really well produced record. And the early Bully stuff, Dave was. I said in an interview the other day, he was the kind of the king of the lo-fi. I mean, we did all of the first 4 records on an 8-track, and literally we spliced tape together with a razor
yeah.
blade and Scotch tape. So this record and the one before that, we were able to do in really big studios and get a little bit better sound, and better sound. So that's the sound we have on this record. Sanford Parker did it at Electric Audio in Chicago, and we did it in 2 days. So
Yeah, we're super happy with the way it came
yeah,
out. The drums, everything. I mean, it's in my eyes, it's the best material we've ever done.
And then we've done 2 videos for it. We have another video in the work for Cops. We're doing a video of Cops. A friend in LA is doing it. We just did Nice Place to Visit on a video. And then we did I Am Mighty.
Right.
And I think we're going to do As Above, So Below next.
Hell yeah.
So keep it going,
It's a good Bible story.
So is there a song on there that sticks out to each of you as like one you like playing more than another?
I like As Above, So Below just because as a singer and as a storyteller, I just love telling that story because, it's pretty much all, if you believe in the Bible, then those are 2 of the stories are from the Bible. One's from the book of Enoch and the other one's from Galatians, Paul's visit to the Galatians. So, it's just, I guess it's kind of the Mike Hard preacher in me that I like telling those stories. It's like, it says it in the good book, So then what is the purpose? Why was it said? Because the Bible, it's all different meanings. It's at different people. But yeah, I think I like that song a lot. I think Scott's probably I Am Mighty.
Yeah, Mighty's a good one. I like Mighty. As Above, So Below. I love that song too. And I like them all. Enemy. I like Enemy a lot too.
You Call This Love and Help were actually written with David Livingstone, who pretty much wrote all the early God Bully stuff with me. And so that's kind of what kind of got us to do this Bullies album again is we had those 2 songs and they were like the last 2 songs David wrote with us. And I really wanted to get them out there. So that was kind of another, that, and I want to just put out a God Bully record that honored David Livingstone because he was just such a huge part of my life in the Bullies too. And I was in another band called They Never Sleep with David. We put out an Adam from the Bullies as well, and Karen Neal. So I had those 2 songs, and I just wanted to get them out. And then we've been replaying with David on this Pig Harvest thing for about 2 years.
Yeah, almost 3.
Oh, yeah, almost 3 years, and we were getting ready to put stuff out with that. And then he suddenly passed away, so that kind of put a kibosh on that. So
it was out of nowhere.
But basically, I just wanted to honor David for all our friendship. We started together. I had 2 songs at the end that we did before he passed away. And I wanted to get them out there because I think they're really good songs. I love Help and You Call This Love. I think they're just great songs. And actually, I like You Call This Love a lot. I like I like almost every song on this album. I mean, every one of them, really. I think it's a great album.
Yeah, I've got no complaints whatsoever. I love it.
Hell yeah.
And I've always wanted to get into electrical audio, and it was great. We finally got to go there and record there. And, while Steve Albini was still alive and, and Mono was upstairs from Japan recording with him. And, and Sanford Parker, we can't say that guy he is a ninja behind the board. That guy is amazing, yeah. I mean,
he's super cool, Chicago style.
that place, I can't. I mean, we've been in a ton of studios, and there's a lot of great studios in Detroit. A lot of guys we work with done some great work, but EA, that place hands down, like that. Literally, I think I can cross one off my bucket list.
It's the fastest I ever put out a record.
Yeah.
With David, like once you get on 8-track and stuff, we'd be working with that stuff for days just to cut the tapes and splice in the samples and the songs all together. So it was pretty cool doing something, just booming it out like that, almost live.
Yeah, we were kind of shocked and surprised and even argued about it because we did it so quickly. But
there's not a lot of overdubs. I pretty much one took the vocals. They did all the music the first day, and then the second day I came in and he did his extra guitar tracks and I did my vocals.
And going back, we played, a couple times a week for months, and we recorded every single song, and we worked on this album for a long time before we went in there and put a lot of work into it. We were ready, So
that was a good shot, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're both pretty proud of it. I think the whole band is.
As it should be. I think it's it's solid from start to finish. Like the way it starts with I Am Mighty is like it's so fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, that one gets out of the gate.
Yeah, I like it. It gets kind of heavy at the end, and the lyrics I love in it. And once again, it's it's about being in the sect, like just being around, having friends. Just I think we work our lives away and we don't realize how powerful we are as human beings. And sometimes we have to look back and say, I'm fucking lucky to be alive. And when you look at how this world, I mean, you know, God loved his children so much, he tried to wipe us out with a tidal wave. I mean, you know, that's the starting of it with Noah, and you know, and that goes back to the Nephilim, because those half breeds that the Nephilim made, God wanted to kill the, you know, so he had Noah build an ark and all that, whether it's true or not. But yeah, we've been through so much, and then I mean, especially with this climate we're living in, with the tornadoes and just uh, what's happened in South Carolina recently. It's just devastating. So sometimes I think we just have to stand back and take a deep breath and say, "Fuck, I'm alive." And after we lost a few close friends like Johnny and David and Steve Albini, you know, you're just like, "Fuck yeah, I gotta say something for these guys. In their presence, I am mighty." And that's
Kevin, our original guitar player.
Kevin. So many people, just good people along the way.
We've lost 3 guitar players. 3.
Yeah, you know, and it sucks because the older you get, the more common that is.
You know, Spinal Tap, the movie.
I know,
and then you got always gets off. You know, like I'm a guitar player. I'm kind of a little worried.
You're like, I'm in the wrong fucking band to be a guitar player. Jesus Christ.
You gotta watch this guy. I mean, that's what David, though. I lived with him for like we lived in the same van for like 10 years. We toured Europe with cows and like a little band, like 8 of us in this little band together. And it's like, when David passed away, it's like, God, I would have gone through all these same things David has gone through his whole life, and he passed away. It's like, when's my turn? I mean, so I just look at the watch. I mean, we pretty much have been our adult lives around the same substances.
Yeah,
and things
but
like
it goes back to what you were saying, right? Like to just be grateful for where we are and what we're doing.
Yeah, it makes you think about your mortality for sure.
It does, right? Yeah. Like whatever that is, whether it's playing in a fucking dive bar to 5 people, or playing in front of, you know, a 1,000 cap room, or just sitting down with your fucking friend and having a drink.
Or just meditating and trying to get outside of your body and see more of just going to work every day, because this slave mentality and ant-like and bee-like insect brain that we have is obviously there for a reason. It's there to be exploited as well. So sometimes you have to get out of that part of your brain and more into your like alien mind, you know, your heaven above mind, and you can try to project yourself into different worlds.
Yeah,
it's really you can leave your body. I mean, it's been known. I mean, Christianity doesn't really teach you, but there's other religions that do, and meditation certainly you can. But yeah, just that alone, when you leave your body, once again, it's the presence of the whole humanity that gives you the power. That, God dang, man. But yeah, that's I Am Mighty. I'm glad you like it, because it had to be a powerful song like that, because the message is so powerful. And then you look at Ukraine and Israel and war after war after war, and there are people like 19. I served my country. I was in the Navy and the Air Force while I was in college, and the sacrifice young people have made for our country, for their country, what's going on in Ukraine. 1,000 young people die a day in that war. At least that's what they're saying. 1,000 lives just poof gone at 20. I mean, who knows what their potential could have been, you know? So yeah, we do have to step back and we have to fight for it. Like you said, build a community, a support group, and then stand tall and just keep fighting those people, as we mentioned earlier in this, those fuckers up there that don't care about us.
That's exactly it, right? Like when they only keep us divided because they know, like, if we came together, the power that we would have as the people, all of those people that are doing us fucking wrong they wouldn't have any way to do us wrong anymore. We'd get them the fuck out of there. And
it's constant warfare too against us. I mean, gerrymandering with the election, the electoral college. I mean, it's all against us. It's all against us.
Yeah. Because they don't think we're smart enough to know what needs to run us. But obviously
we're the product. We're just the cows.
There's got to be someone better than what we have up there trying to run for the shit now. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, that's my favorite band name is Cows. Just like we played so much with them, and then I mean they're my favorite band. But I mean, just that name right there, they weren't the Cows; they were just called Cows. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Awesome group of guys.
Yeah, very intelligent. Shannon's like
fantastic. So this weekend you guys play Columbus on Friday night.
Yep, correct. Columbus, we are at Bourbon Street Cafe, I think it's called.
Okay.
And then Saturday, Planet of the Tapes in Louisville, yeah, Kentucky.
Louis,
And then we
yeah.
go, have some makeup gigs in Dubuque and Madison.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
That's in December, but yeah.
So when's the last time you all played Louisville?
oh my God,
Wow.
that's a rock and roll story
Wow.
right there.
Wow. A long time ago.
Scott didn't there wasn't
Yeah, I
in the
wasn't there
band.
for this one, but it was.
We
Yeah,
played there with is there a local band called the Rock and Roll Terrorists?
There probably was at one time.
Yeah, so
we're talking the '90s. Okay.
was it the 90s?
Yeah, it was the '90s.
So we're touring and we're coming up and we played there Louisville on a Wednesday night and I don't know the club, but I don't even know if it's still there. But they loved us and there's only like 5 people there at the show. And they said tomorrow night there's a punk rock show, with like more people will come and they have a local band, it's headline called the Rock and Roll Terrorists. So they said, hey, we stayed overnight, slept on the floors and couches. Some people from Louisville that put us up, which was super cool. And then we came back to the bar next day and waited for them to load in. And then we asked them if we could open for them because the bar wanted us to, and said we should ask them. And they said no, they didn't want us to open for them. But anyway, it got really bad because one of them asked Paul for a cigarette, our bass player, and he had a pack just sitting there, and he said, "I don't have any."
Paul was a scrappy kind of guy.
Yeah, Paul's got meat hooks for fists, and the guy should have noticed those right away. And then he came back.
His nickname was Thor.
Yeah. So he bumps it. The rock and roll terrorist guy bumps into him at the bar when he's walking by to cigarettes because he knew he had them or something. And that was just totally too much for Paul to take. And they just literally got in a fist fight right there in the bar. Oh, it was band against band. Our drummer had to go out, get our van, pull it up to the front door. We're backing out with cue sticks. And Karen was in the band with these huge heels. And Karen Neal, Queen Bee,
our bass player from
and Paul's got the guy on the floor holding him down so that we could get by to get out. And Karen's kicking him with these big old platform shoes she was wearing. It's like, how do you like it taking it from a girl? It's like just giving him shit while Paul's holding down. And we got in the van, we drove back home. But that was my only time I've ever played Louisville, so I hope it's going to be a little better this time.
Now we're playing with Conan Neutron and like some other bands from Louisville, and like we've heard a lot of good things about Planet of the Tapes. So
yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be completely different. We're in a different era, different bar.
It was hilarious.
Nothing but good things about this place, and so we're looking forward to it. So, but yeah, you just heard the nightmare story.
Yeah. So Planet of the Tapes is a really cool place to play.
That's what we heard.
Super tiny. The stage is like, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 inches up. It's
my kind of place, right?
What? When I was talking earlier, the band that was upstairs recording with Steve Albini, Mono from Japan, those guys play arena shows and theaters, and they are playing at Planet of the Tapes. So if those guys are playing there, Conan swears by the place. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're playing there between our arena shows as well.
Yeah. Mono's drummer is from Louisville.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Or what? I say the drummer.
Sense.
One of the percussion guys is from Louisville.
Japanese guy from Louisville?
No, he's not Japanese.
Okay, he's the one guy that's not Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were up cooking rice and noodles the entire time. Every time we had to go up and we shared a bathroom. They were in Studio A, we were in Studio B, the big drum room downstairs at EA. So cool guys.
Yeah.
So how's the scene in Louisville? Is it going to be pretty cool, or?
I like it. I think it's really solid. So over the last probably 10 years, we've seen a huge, I'm going to call it a resurgence, but we've just had so many shows happening. Like if one show happens, there's 4 others that are happening too, and everyone's pulling the same crowd.
Wow.
So it's like,
is this going to be on before the weekend?
Nah.
Okay.
It probably won't be. What I might do is I might try and cut a clip about like the Planet of the Tapes thing.
Okay.
And just put it out. So
we'd appreciate it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
It should be a fun show. I don't remember if there's another show I was supposed to go to Saturday or not, but I'll get a couple of my buddies and we'll fucking come out and watch you guys play.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's my kind of. If it doesn't have a stage, it's going to be a really fun show because I'll be right there with you. So
the deal that I'm going to make though is I have to buy a vinyl from you, so you've got to have at least one for me.
Oh, we got one. Yeah. We can work something out.
Yeah,
Killer.
yeah.
We got a couple things on vinyl actually, so you can check out.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Because
we have the Brain Saw, a really cool EP that Scott and I are, and then we have a They Never Sleep that has David and I on it that I like too. So we can hook you up.
hell yeah. I'm just gonna buy it. I don't expect to be hooked up just to like
Well, we'll give you a special deal, a volume buy thing or something. But yeah,
All right, I'm just saying you don't have to. I'd never
right.
expect
Cool.
it.
Thank you.
Like I'm that guy. I like a band. I want to support, right? I'm gonna if I listen to a band, I listen to streaming all the time, but everything I stream I have on vinyl or CD somewhere.
Cool.
Well,
Excellent.
we appreciate people that appreciate us, so we'll help you.
Mutual
Yeah.
admiration. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Hell
yeah.
yeah. So what does the rest like next 12 months look like for the band?
But we're doing the videos right now. We're going to shoot another. We want to do at least 2 or 3 more videos. We want to start recording the next record right now. I mean, and we have some other projects we kind of started. I don't know what we're going to do with. We have this Pig Harvest thing that we did. We have 2 songs from with David on it and Scott playing bass and Clip on drums. So maybe a single with that because it's like literally David playing guitar on his last recordings. And we have 2 songs that we just have to mix them. So maybe something like that. But we're already starting to work on the next record.
I think that the idea is to, we'd like to do some festivals, we'd like to do some live shows, but you know, for us to go do that, it's we've been doing this for a long time. We need it financially, we need to get out there on some bigger stages like we used to do back in the day. So
Yeah.
hopefully it gets to that point. These shows that we're doing now are kind of like intimate shows, and we're just kind of getting out there and doing a few,
Scott's such a big dreamer.
Yeah, you know.
I'm more practical. It's like, hey, been there, done that,
My other job is working in arenas and theaters, so
Scott's a union stagehand.
I'm an
Gotcha.
agent too, so you know what I mean. So like, yeah, we'll see what happens, but that's the goal, So
A
we
little bit
want to
at a
get out and
time,
play.
right?
It's got to be the right situation where we can, afford to get out there and do it,
Yeah.
So
Well, now it's things are so different now compared to what they were like in the
oh
90s with
yeah,
all the,
so I'm
then it
trying to
was
explain to him, yeah. I
all the
mean, there's
fucking
money to
tape
be
trading
made,
and
and
shit. Hmm.
you can actually make a living as
I've
long as
never made money at this, and I
that's
never. And I
that's
don't
the
expect.
problem.
I
He's
don't
talking about the
expect.
'90s,
Yeah.
like getting in a
If I
van,
was,
sleeping in somebody's house, and I've done all that shit with him too. But like,
there's lyrics in the Brain Saw that says if I was in this for money, I'd have quit long ago. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
Well,
passion. It really is. It's a
it
labor of love.
it's got to be, right?
yeah,
Like I think
yeah,
a lot of people miss that. They think, I mean, I was that guy too. Like, what? I'm going to learn how to play guitar. I'm going to get in a band. We're going to be big and famous in no
Yeah.
time. And then reality hits, and you're like, dude, we made $50 last night. We've got a fucking 4-hour drive, and
yeah.
that leaves us like
People
$5
don't
so we
realize
can
how
eat.
crazy it is. And don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I mean, it's not about it. He's right. It's not about the money for us. We wouldn't still be doing this if it was. But
Well,
in order for us to do a proper tour, we need to be on some bigger stages this time. I think is what
but
we're trying
it's something I haven't done before, like playing live. So it's playing live. To me, I love playing live because it's about the now. Those few minutes we have together, that 45 minutes or whatever the set is, and sharing that together, and it's about living in the now. But the vinyl or recording is exact opposite. It's something that's supposed to last longer than now. So it's like where are your priorities? It takes 16 hours to drive to Louisville back and sound check, go on stage, and so 16 hours for 45 minutes, that's a lot of really hard work. I mean, for those few minutes where if you were in a studio for 16 hours, you can get some new, whatever you're thinking done and recorded. So I'm kind of on that end of it now. How many bands have you heard of, great bands that are like one hit wonders? As soon as they didn't get the record company money, they just stopped creating, and I that's never been something that stopped me.
I think Mike and I always be playing together.
Right. So yeah, I just feel we need a voice, regardless of whether you agree with what I say or not. I'm open to all types of knowledge and learning. At my age, I'm still learning. So yeah, I like the writing aspect of all of this. So that's what I'm always telling them is we can play live anytime we want, but I really like getting in the studio, recording, and laying down lyrics. So I think that's what our next year hopefully will be another record. Yeah.
We'll be out there.
Hell yeah.
I got to
A
bring
little
his
bit of
ass.
both.
Yeah.
A little live, a little studio,
There
you
you
know,
go.
and
Yeah,
look,
yeah,
and speaking of studios, look at where things have gone, gone from fucking the 80s and 90s where you had to splice tapes together,
yeah. It's
Oh
splice
yeah.
tape
nuts.
together, to like now you just fucking little program on your computer and fucking do cut and
Oh,
Yeah,
paste.
long
We're
listen
good.
distance recording
tracks. You can put
sends
as many
stems to
tracks
people.
down,
Yeah,
many guitar tracks. Yeah, it's just crazy. And you look how many bands have just did that at home and became really huge. Like isn't that kind of like how Billie Eilish started, kind of just doing this stuff at home recording and jumped out of it. Now she's like a mega superstar.
I don't know. Post Malone, that's how he started.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, it's crazy. It's just it's
I mean, it definitely allowed us to get our chops up to where once we got into EA, we were ready to, go.
And you have to
Just
wonder about
recording.
that with recording studios. It's like with all the home recording and all the production and how easy you can make everything sound like it's a big studio. How long is the EA going to be around, or some of the studios around here, like that we've worked in, like
There,
54 Sound, are they still doing work? Are they going to be? Is
as
there going to be
far
a demand?
as
Or
far as I know, I mean, I think EA is still sticking with it, and I hope they are. That place is there's no other place like it.
I think
yeah,
there
I
are
mean,
a lot of studios that are gonna, that are gonna stick with it because they're specialized, right? Like there are lazy people out there, and I say lazy because they're maybe not gonna take the time or don't have the time to put into learning how to mix and master and all of that shit. So,
right.
like out in Royal Oak, Soundscape Recording, that guy's been going for 24, 25 years now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we
And
we recorded with Al Sutton. That's
and
what
at
that
Rust
brain
Belt.
cell that he was talking about. That's another guy. I mean, Al, he's got Rust Belt Studios, and he's done all kinds of Kid Rock stuff, and like those
Greta,
guys, the kids at
Greta,
Greta Van Fleet. He
yeah,
recorded and produced those guys, and that was the other studio that, like, as far as Michigan goes, like that Al, he was on it.
yeah.
You
He's
yeah,
know,
L's recorded
that
like
guy, that guy's
Laughing
awesome.
Hyenas and Easy Action.
Yeah, a lot of bands.
Yeah, tons of bands, right?
Yeah, a lot of
but
Detroit.
so there's still a place for studios.
Oh
Although
yeah,
home recording is a lot easier. I don't think there obviously won't be as many because the need for them is not near as big. You don't need to go to play in a fucking studio or record in a studio in a big studio to put your music out there and for it to
no,
be
not
something.
necessarily.
That I used to
Absolutely.
think like that until I saw that drum room at
Yeah.
Electric Audio. I
Well,
was just
so
so impressed with
yeah.
that
So
studio,
and
man.
this is the
Yeah,
room I've been trying to get into
it's
for 38 years, and it's when they built it, when Steve finally built the studio out of his house, and EA is what it is now. It's Studio B, and the ceiling, I don't know what the height of it is, but it's at least 50 feet tall. The room is gigantic. And the idea of the whole thing is you set any drum kit in there and you don't need any compression, anything. I mean, it'll make any drum kit sound like a cannon,
Oh
unless you
yeah.
play,
yeah.
really soft, I
That
guess,
it
like
was a great
but
experience playing
I
there.
mean, it was great for us, and it's something I've always wanted to do, and it made this album, along with Sanford, I
I
think.
think that's why the album has such good flow to it because it was done like that, like all in one day, kind of. So it all has that groove, like a kind of a live kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. I know a couple lyrics. I'd maybe redone it, do it, but Sanford's like, nah, man, it's good. I really like that, and I only doubled up lyrics a few times or phrases just a couple times, like doubled up, you call this love, but pretty much it was all straight up and just not a lot of effects. So it was all new to me, and which is cool at this stage because with David and I, we just love using effects on early Bully stuff. I mean, you can't even hear a word I'm saying. Basically, it's all kind of garbage,
Our
But
our bass player Pat was asking Sanford, is there anything you want to, input or, and Sanford's response to that was, you guys are hard enough on yourself already. You know, he's like, I don't need to. He's like, you're already doing it. So
Yeah, I was riding them pretty bad.
but that's you know, that's good. That's you know, that's what we needed to do. You know,
Yeah,
I
and
mean, I think we're self-critical on each other, and I think that because of that, that's why the album's so good. You know.
and we've been playing together for
Yeah.
so long. And like when we were in Thrall, we played God Bully songs on the encores, and same thing with Brainsaw and They Never Sleep. We've always kind of kept trying to keep the God Bully name alive with the other bands I've been on and been in. So I mean, we've been trying to keep the flame going for as well for like these last 30 years, just through the Mike Hard show and Thrall, and just keep. And then sometimes if David was around, we have a Thrall show. He'd come up and play guitar on the in the encore and do some Bully stuff. So we've been trying to keep the name alive. It's uh Pat. Well, Scott was in Thrall on every Thrall record, and then Cliff's on two of them. So there might be a little bit of heavier God Bully sound than what it was before. Maybe not as psychedelic, but I think this next record we're going to kind of go with the more kind of a psychedelic feel to it.
Oh,
Maybe
right
not
on.
as heavy. Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah.
And there's a bunch of drama going on. I don't know if you've heard it, but whatever. I mean, I've played God Bully shows. I've played with David. I've known David for 30 years. David and I were great friends. You know, like it is what it is. You know, I don't pretend to be David. This album was never meant to be like that. We did this as a tribute to David and Johnny, you know. So
Yeah, apparently we pissed off one of the old God Bully members. So
yeah.
the only one that wants to work with me, and I don't even think he wants to work with me. I just want to work with people who want to work with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just put out music and have fun, like Jesus Christ.
I mean, there are 13 people in God Bullies. 13. Just like any
Wow.
other band that's been around for 40 years. You
Yeah.
know? End of story.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. Okay. All right, guys. I'm getting close to my next appointment.
Okay.
So we're gonna cut this. I
Great.
appreciate you guys coming and chatting with me tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing you Saturday at Planet of the Tapes.
Oh man, come out. I think you'll enjoy the show. Have
I
you
think
ever
I
seen
will
us
too.
before? Have you seen the
No.
Bullies before?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, yeah, yeah.
Get a hold of me via like our publicist or wherever, you know, with Dave from Earsplit and or you know, email me or from the
Yeah,
socials and we'll put you on the list.
Well,
You know?
hey, let me get your name in
No,
the in
no. I appreciate it, but no. I will pay. I'll come to the show.
Oh, it's
I'll
in the
have a
book,
good
man.
time.
I mean, we
I'll-
don't know anyone in Louisville anyway,
It's
so
fine.
we got to put somebody on the
Nope.
guest list. Hey,
Nah, I'll be at the
all
show.
right.
I'll be at the show Saturday. Planet
Thanks,
of the
man.
Tapes. Hell yeah. I don't want anything. I'm gonna come and support you guys.
Yeah, because I mean, I hope you do because or come out to see us because we don't know when we'll get to Louisville again. I mean, just the way things are. It's a 6 hour drive from here. We're playing on basically when you take away the expense, pretty much free. So we're doing it to promote the record, and I don't know. I haven't played Louisville since the Rock and Roll Terrorists, so I think it's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah. It'll be fun. I'll see if I can find a flyer for the show too and put it up and send it out to my people so we can hopefully get some more people to the show.
Doesn't that place have a bunch of like video VHS cassettes behind the back wall or something? They project stuff on
Yeah. So I've been there 3 times, and I've if I remember right, the last time I was there, this band Ohm was playing a show, and
I love those guys,
like,
man.
I fucking do too.
The
They're
guys from Sleep, yeah.
no, not Ohm,
Not OM.
not
Okay.
OM.
All right.
It's
All right.
OHLM.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were talking about OM. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Now,
All right. Well,
so Ohm they're a local band here, and they've been together. They actually just did their 15-year anniversary at Planet of the Tapes.
well, I'm sure they're good too.
They are. They are. It's not Ohm by any means. They're a lot of fun. It's a great band. But
Well, we appreciate your time, man.
hell yeah. Well, you guys go have a great night, and I'll see you Saturday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey,
Hell
thanks for doing this, man.
Hell yeah. See you guys.
Have a good night.